if you guys didn't watch my Get to Know Me tag video, my full name is Shane Alexandra. Okay, so obviously, like that's not a girl's name, right? Okay. So my dad named all four of his children, which he had with two separate women. So my half brother might have been a joint effort on that, but yeah, I'm the youngest child. And then my brother with my mom, he's a junior. So he has my dad's whole name and junior. I'm not into that. It's kind of narcissistic to me. You're not a king. You don't have a kingdom. You don't have a legacy to pass down. You don't have a business. Like you're not freaking Rockefeller. Like you're not passing down anything to your son. All you did was pass down freaking trauma to your son. So for you to think, this is any man out here and any woman married to a man like this, why would you want a junior? Ask your husband, why do you want your son to be named after you? What have you accomplished that you're going to give to your son that is so important that he needs to have your whole name? But yeah, what do you need to do that for? Do you own a bank that your son is going to inherit, or is your son inheriting anything of sustenance from you that is generational wealth? Are you a king? You own a kingdom and he's going to be a king one day after you? Not even the royal family did that, right? Are any of their kids like juniors? I don't think so. Isn't it like Henry? It's Henry and William. And then and then their mom's Diana, Princess Diana. Wasn't she married to Charles? And so even the royal family didn't do that in England. So why do you think you should be doing that? Like, and ladies, have a good supportive husband, right? His opinion on the baby's name matters for sure. But you ultimately have the final say. That's your child. You're growing in your belly. If you can defend why you do or don't want a certain name, then you deserve to have the final say. Not back down on that junior argument. If you do not want your son to be a junior, do not back down. Defend that staunchly, because depending on the father, your husband, you could just be, you think you're just transferring the name. No, you're transferring the life with the name. You're transferring the lifestyle of your husband or the baby's father with the name. You understand that? Like, what is your son's father's legacy? Is it destruction, violence, criminality, laziness? And I do think it's lazy. It's like, wow, your son you can't even like sit there and think, put the effort into thinking about a different name for your son. You're just like, I was gonna have my name. No thought, no nothing. That's pretty lazy to me. Like, your son doesn't have his own identity that deserves a name attached to it. Your name, that's your identity that your mom gave you. Let your son's name be his identity that you give him, right? Let the new name be a new legacy. If your life isn't nothing by the time you have a child, and I don't mean nothing like, oh, you haven't met these certain societal standards, so you don't deserve to do XYZ. No, I'm saying like nothing as in you're living an average life. It is narcissistic to think that your average life is so amazing, and your identity is so amazing that you need to pass your name down to your son. So, yeah. I'm not into that anyway. And then besides that, like the issues with male, like I grew up seeing this, like male getting confused because they have the same name, and then if you don't put junior, then it's gonna go to your dad and all this other stuff. So, also the thing with like criminal records, like somebody looks up your son, they find you and your background, think it's your son, all kinds of stuff, okay? All kinds of stuff could go wrong. Just don't make your son's life complicated. So I'm not into that junior stuff. That's not happening. So and then with my name, my sister has a predominantly male name too, but it is an Irish name. So, well, both of our names are Irish names, and that's a whole, I mean, our last name is an Irish surname because, you know, some people in my family took, what is it called, Ancestry, when that was popping off, Ancestry. And, you know, on my dad's side, they know about their history, that my dad's ancestors were owned on a plantation in Ireland. So that is why we have an Irish surname in our name. So yeah, me and my sister have like Irish. Let me see if my brother's names are. Yeah, my youngest older brother's name is also Irish. And then let me see. And then yeah, my other brother's name says it's a German origin. But yeah, 3 of the 4 of us have Irish names. So, and they're all boy names. So, my sister's name just happens to be a lot more feminine. Like the pronunciation is more feminine. But mine is just straight up. It's a boy's name. Like, I hate to tell you. So, my dad named me after, okay, this is a story. No, I no longer believe this story, trust me. But the story is that my dad named me, in particular, the last child, after his favorite movie, which was a Western, a black and white Western movie called Shane, about a cowboy named Shane and whatever plot is going on in the movie. So, I never sat down and watched the whole movie because it's like, you you name your kids after a movie they're not really gonna understand, because the time frame in this specific case is like, I'm born in 98. This movie came out, I mean, I have no idea when, but it was black and white. So you gotta understand, like, this is like in today's age, naming your daughter Susie because your favorite movie is The Wonderful World of Susie Wong. Like, it's that crazy. So, yeah, but you name your daughter after a male movie character, that's already kind of okay. Would you do that if it was your son? You would name your son after a female movie character? But anyway, so growing up, obviously, before people see me and they only see my name, they're calling me he, referring to me as he, or, him, or thinking that I'm a boy. So that was annoying at the doctor's offices. That was annoying in school because there were two Shanes all throughout, I want to say, second grade to graduation. I was in school with this other boy named Shane. Obviously, we have different last names. So it was like, I'm Shane this letter, he's Shane that letter. But sometimes they confuse it on the what you call it, and then they be referring to me as he on the intercom and all. Just and y'all gotta think this is about to get controversial. This is before the time of the whole transgender movement, okay? So it's already a problem before that. So yeah, I never liked my name. When I was writing a lot, I would refer to myself as Alexandra, or like S.A, my last name, when like writing who my story was by in Microsoft Word. Like, I never really referred to myself by my name because I didn't like my name. So high school came and I was kind of like over it, basically. I was kind of like, and even a little bit past high school, like when I started applying for jobs and stuff, because my dad's little excuse was like, oh, when you get older, like, you'll appreciate your name because on job applications, it'll give you a leg up because they'll think you, basically, he was saying that on the job application, I'm more likely to get a call back or invited for an interview because my name looks like it's a white male's name, which it's true. It's not like I ever did an experiment, but it's evident with how quick I would get like callbacks and stuff for jobs. Because yeah, they think I'm a guy, and sometimes if it's like an email response, they'll refer to me as he and him and all this stuff and all that. So, or I come in and they can't they can't be shocked when they see me because it's like discrimination. So, but like you can tell. So, but that's not a reason. That's not a reason to name your baby girl a boy's name because of future job applications. Okay? But anyway. So, yeah. I started to kind of be neutral about my name. But then came, becoming a mom myself, I started to wonder. Becoming a mother makes you really question your parents so bad. Like, you really question them. And hopefully my children question me. Not to this extent. But hopefully they question me. And it's just like every generation like improves. The parenting improves with every generation. Let me get this food. This beef didn't irritate me. The very first thing after we solidified, like, yeah, we're having a girl, I knew for a fact I need my daughter to have a girl's name. Now, I kept 2 themes with my daughter's name, which was a touch of me in like a touch of my lineage, I guess, by continuing the Irish name. So she has an Irish surname as her first name, but in America it is used as a first name. And it is a boy's name. I think it's more of a male name in Ireland and a surname, but in America it's a girl's name. And I knew a girl by this name, so a lot of my criteria has to do with, how many people have I known with this name? What is that? How many people have I known with this name? If I've known more than one person with this name, I'm probably not going to name my child that. If I've known just one singular person with that name in my whole 20, almost 8 years, then I'm like, okay, it's a contender. So, I knew one girl by this name in high school, and I always thought it was a pretty name. So I'm like, okay, it's not common, but it's still a girl's name. So I was like, I want my daughter and all my subsequent daughters to have feminine names, and I want all my sons to have masculine names. Why would I name my son a girl's name? Why would I name my daughter a boy's name? What could that set them up for in the future? I just don't understand. Especially in this new generation. Like back in the late 90s, early 2000s, this wasn't a problem where people will look at your name and look at you physically and be fucking confused. Like, there's nothing to be confused about. Like, obviously I'm a girl, but I feel like even more than one instance is not appropriate. There have been like at least 2 instances where people have tried to question my gender because of my name in this day and age of all this transgender stuff. Okay, I don't appreciate that. Just like y'all don't appreciate being called sir when you is a ma'am, and ma'am when you is a sir. I don't appreciate it, but yeah. So we're just not doing that. And then after all the recent stuff that happened with my dad, yeah, I'm just like, I don't appreciate you. I don't appreciate my name. I don't want no connection to you. I never had a connection to this name to begin with. And so it's been about 3 or 4 years that I've been like researching how to change your name, but like with the recent events, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know. So I understand that if I did change my name to something completely different, because at first I was just gonna make my middle name my first name. That's how I refer to myself, like on my computer, on ordering services. Like I just call myself Alexandra and then my husband's last name. But, I don't know. I'm sure my husband's still gonna call me the same name. I don't really care necessarily. It's not that I get offended over being called my name. It's just like that's not who I want to portray myself to the world as, a boy's name. Like, it doesn't make sense. So that's where I'm at with that. But obviously I got to get my ID renewed so I can even like prove my identity to even start this process and start the paperwork and everything. And I also have to choose a name. I've been looking at names for a while. I still haven't chosen one. But we'll see. I'm a girl. I want a girl's name. I want a feminine, pretty name. And I can have that. So, and I also feel like the name change would be kind of like finally leaving behind all the things attached to what happened to that girl Shane my entire life. So, I'm looking forward to that. And I've talked to my husband about this 3 years ago and recently. And it'll be what it is. So, yeah. You gotta be careful what you name your kids because it could lead to bullying, weird assumptions, unnecessary stress. Also, harassment because y'all, I've worked so many jobs. It's like a Barbie level resume. Done did everything. Okay, so but mostly public facing jobs, and some of these jobs had to do with, they were like the target audience of the restaurant or the store was like older folks. Obviously, I said I was named after a black and white movie, right? So when you don't want to give your daughter, specifically, you don't want to give your daughter a name of a popular movie in what will be an older man's time frame. She goes to work, she has a name tag. Girls aren't supposed to have this name. And then now random older white men are starting conversations with your young daughter while she's at work. And the movie isn't in. You know what I mean? So that happened too many times to count. Don't give your child a name that's going to lead to uncomfortable conversations with people who are generations, men who are generations older than her, or with women who are generations older than him. Okay? Yeah. Not smart, not thought out. Now I think he did it on purpose, to kind of like set me up for not necessarily bullying, but like adverse reactions from people from minute one. Because trust me, which one of my parents do you think was there every time that I was misgendered and had to correct somebody? It wasn't him. So, obviously I don't go by my name publicly no more. Especially not with Uber. Nope. I don't need no surprise. Don't give your child a name that's going to surprise people, because some people don't like surprises, okay? If I were to use my name, which is a boy's name, but have a picture of me, I'm a girl, and we're dealing with Uber drivers who are from all types of different cultures, mostly men, and I get in the car and it's 2026, or let's just say 2020, because that's like when I started using Uber and Lyft. Think about how that could have gone with these random men. It sparks too many questions. I'm in a closed vehicle. I'm in someone else's vehicle. Thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you in my next one.